Happy Friday, Rickover. Sorry that I could not be there with you guys today, but this actually works out great because I really wanted to attend your career day, but did not have the time in my busy schedule. But now, since everything is virtual, I can tell you about myself. First off, I'll tell you that I work at McCain Foods. It is a food and beverage company. Basically, they're known for French fries. We're the largest multinational French fry company in the world. Well, I should say was. Now I believe Lamb Western is beating us a little bit. We make French fries for all fast food chains, so McDonald's, Wendy's, etc. One in every 4 French fries is done by us. So you guys have ate one before and you just don't know it. Within McCain, I actually work in procurement as a global buyer. And I know what you guys are thinking. What is procurement? What is a global buyer? Start over. So let me start over. In junior high school, I had no idea also what those words meant. And in junior high school, all I thought about was getting good grades. But I realized when it was time for 8th grade graduation and all the kids had a gold cord around their neck. And I was like in the top 10 of the smartest kids, and I couldn't get a gold cord because I wasn't on the National Honor Society, because I wasn't well-rounded, and I didn't do sports, and I didn't do clubs, and I didn't do volunteer work. I realized that I needed to change who I was and to learn about different things, such as business and sports and other cultures, etc. So junior high really opened my mind up to that. From there in high school, I jumped out the gate and I started this tennis club, and I did the speech team, which is sort of like the debate team. You get to recite poetry, maybe you want to do a skit, maybe you want to do a comedy show. It's kind of like an open mic event where you travel around the state and you compete against other teams. I also did the newspaper, so I wrote a lot of articles and I interviewed a lot of people that were from different backgrounds. And I also just joined other friend groups and sat at lunch tables that I wouldn't have sat at before because I was scared that they would make fun of me, because I wasn't black enough, or I wasn't smart enough, or, just all these little things that young people go through growing up. And I'm sad to say I'm only 24 and I am still going through those little antics. But I kid you not, it does get better. In high school is where I found myself. It's where I found my voice. So if you're sitting there right now at home and you're nervous about taking that next step because you're about to be a freshman, or maybe you just started middle school, I can tell you that it's going to get better, and you're going to find who you are, and you're going to be proud of who you are, and you're not going to waver, basically. And that's kind of how I got where I am today. I didn't waver. When it was time for me to pick a college, I remember that I gave a presentation on 2 HBCUs and St. Xavier University, which is a Catholic university. And basically, my AP teacher at the time slammed all 3 of those schools. He said, "Oh, great, you want to go to HBCU, but they have a racist mascot. Or you want to go to St. Xavier University, but it costs over $60,000 a year. How are you going to afford that?" And basically, at the end of high school, he made me feel like I could accomplish anything. Well, guess what? I listened to my mom when she said, "You can be anything you want to be." And basically, I believed. I applied to every school, and I basically got into about 95% of the schools. I got a full ride to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I got a partial ride to the University of Illinois at Chicago. I got a partial ride to Tuskegee University, which is the HBCU. I got accepted to Hampton University, and the list goes on and on and on. I chose to go to the University of Illinois at Chicago, so I turned down a full ride at Urbana-Champaign. I have always been a risk taker. I didn't know how I was going to pay to go to UIC instead of a full ride to Urbana, but I wanted to pursue a route specifically that would allow me to be vocal get my ideas across, and express communication and help others. And I realized that I wanted to be able to make decisions quickly. So I decided to go into business. Now, of course, that's not what my parents wanted me to do. They wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer. But I realized that I didn't quite have the patience, because law school is 7 years and to be a doctor is 10 years. And basically I realized that after high school I had about a good 5 to 6 years left in me of schooling before I would just crack. So business is the route that I went into, and I never looked back. I have met amazing individuals from all around the world that spoke different languages. I have friends from West Benin. I literally travel constantly, and I get to eat new foods and speak with new people. I met a man when I went to UIC that was from Tokyo, and it was the coolest thing ever to just be able to mentor him. So choosing that school and choosing that major allowed me to meet and see and greet new people that I have never did before. So don't be afraid to do what it is that you want to do. Don't be afraid to tell your parents, hey, I know you want me to go to college, but I'll rather be a rapper. Because sometimes that dream actually works, but you gotta believe, and you gotta have the talent, and you gotta know when enough is enough. So I may take risks, but I also know when enough is enough. But how did I get to McCain, and how did I become this global buyer? So basically, I like consumer products. I like things that I can touch, basically. And because of that, I chose to work with consumer products. I couldn't see myself literally being in business and being that IT person, always building apps, etc. So then the next step was, well, how am I gonna continue to be this person that works with consumer products? So I took a stab at it. I knew that I wanted to work with companies that have good values around caring for people and caring for others, because that's something that I really stand for. And the company I work at now motto is be good, do good. So they're always talking about doing good towards others, basically. And it really is what led me to apply. I honestly didn't know anything about procurement or being a buyer when I first stepped into it. But essentially, procurement is a function, a very important function within business that secures the goods for a company. Multinational companies, even little small businesses, sometimes have a procurement group. So basically, they're the people that go out, contract goods at different prices to sell to the public. So essentially, in a nutshell, as a buyer, that's what I do. I literally take the company money and go buy products. In my case, I take money and go buy fries and resell it to McDonald's, and then you guys go and purchase it and then eat it later. Essentially, that's what I does. Now, of course, there's a lot of other things like project management and analytics and things that go into it, and things that as a junior high student, you guys really don't need to worry about right now. What you guys need to worry about is exploring. Learning as much as possible. Asking as many questions as you want. If somebody says something that just doesn't make sense, ask again. And also just know that you're going to move on in life, and that the things that you see and hear now are going to change throughout life. I'm only 24, and I'm still learning, and I'm still growing as an individual, and my taste in music is forever changing. When I was you guys' age, Chris Brown was the best thing ever. But guess what? Now I'm 24, and all I care about is Chance the Rapper. So, that's just a fun example, but just know that everything is always changing, and I think the best advice that I received when I was your age was from a 7th grade teacher. Her name was Miss Olsen. And she basically said that in life, you're going to hear about more the bad things than the good things. And I want you to always remember that. And in 7th grade, I really didn't know what she meant, and I really just wanted to get on the bus, and I really wanted to go home. But the older I got, the more I realized that on the news and stuff, you hear all these things and a lot of bad things going on, but they don't tell you about all the good that each individual is doing in the world. So I want you guys to remember that when you're getting your report card, and maybe it's not the best grade ever. I want you guys to realize that every day is a new day, and every day you can challenge yourself and ask more questions and do more as an individual. And the sky is the limit. Thank you for letting me share a little bit about myself.